are looking at a miniature Christmas carnival designed and built by Harry Cordellos.
Greetings and welcome to the 1989 version of my annual Christmas Carnival. This is Harry Cordellos speaking. In a few moments, we'll be taking a look at all of these rides close up, and I'll have some comments about the carnival in general. But for now, let's just sit back and enjoy the show. The carnival platform itself measures 3 by 4 feet. All of the rides are powered by a single motor mounted inside the platform box. A continuous loop of fishing line, approximately 16 feet in length, winds its way through a series of pulleys and spools, one under each ride, plus a few more spools to bring the line back to the motor where it began. All of the people in the carnival rides are made from colored pipe cleaners. The white fences that you see around some of the rides are really kite string stretched between machine screws that have been bolted into the platform. The music that you're listening to came mainly from the PlayLand merry-go-round in San Francisco before the amusement park was demolished in 1971. It took approximately 1 year to build this carnival. Now let's take a look at the Ferris wheel, or the Sky Wheel as it's known here. It's one of the high rides at the carnival, rising 20 inches above the platform surface. It's all made from thin wooden rods, kitchen matches, and fishing line. The cars are made of cardboard, covered with plastic tape and spray painted. There's no mystery as to how this ride operates. Nothing is more complicated in the machinery than a series of sewing machine bobbins and, of course, some more fishing line to connect it with the power source. A popular ride at almost any carnival is the octopus. This ride is spectacular because it involves so many kinds of motion all at once. Imagine 2 pulleys lying one on top of the other but rotating in opposite directions. That's how we get the motion. One pulley drives the octopus arms in one direction while the other pulley drives the eccentric, that red object in the center that's offset. That raises and lowers the arms and causes the cars to tip so that the heavy side swings around to the lowest point. A needle drilled through the floor of each car rests loosely in a partially drilled hole in each arm. This allows the cars to swing freely and spin with the motion. One of the most talked about rides at PlayLand in San Francisco was the diving bell. This diving bell is especially attractive because it gets its vertical motion from rotary motion inside the platform. The cable which raises and lowers the diving bell goes up into the pulley house above the platform structure, then back into a tower behind the pool, and then down underneath the platform where it joins the power source. The pool is a cake plate cover. On each trip, the diving bell takes its imaginary passengers down to the amazing depth of 6 inches below the surface of the water, where they can view a sea monster and some rubber fish, which actually move around in the water due to the turbulence caused by the motion of the diving bell. The diving bell car itself is a medicine jar with plastic portholes. And now let's get back to the center of the platform where all that music is coming from, the carousel. This carousel really does have quite a bit of history behind it. The small circus animals that you see prancing around on the platform had their first carousel ride back in 1962 when I built my first carnival. That was half the size of this one. And from time to time you can see inside the carousel. Look at that center post, and you'll see one of the last brass rings that remained when the PlayLand merry-go-round was demolished back in the early 70s. And what is the carousel made of? Look up on the roof and you'll see typical items. Half of a wiffle ball and a toothpaste cap to make the crown. Now let's take a ride on the parachute jump, patterned after the famous ride that thrilled thousands over the years at New York's Coney Island. It's the highest ride at the Carnival. From its broad base up to the toothpaste cap above its pulley house, the tower rises 31.5 inches. From liftoff, the passengers soar to the staggering height of more than 2 feet before they plunge back down. And not just once. These lucky people get to do it over and over again. But don't worry about their safety. I made sure that they would be held secure in their seats with the most reliable safety devices available, rubber bands. You can't really have a Christmas carnival without that familiar man in the red suit with the white beard. So let's come down to front and center now and look at Santa Claus and the ice skating show. These are the only people in the carnival that are not made of pipe cleaners. The dancers are birthday cake decorations. Each skater has a needle poked up through one leg. The opposite end of the needle goes down through the rotating ice rink and into a cork. When the cork bumps against a cushion, the skaters twist. A lever under the Santa Claus is tripped by the ice rink once with each revolution. So Santa Claus does his little step once each time the skaters come around. One of my favorites has always been the Tilt-A-Whirl. Actually, this is the most realistic of all the rides on the Carnival because it's exact even to the colors of the Tilt-A-Whirl at PlayLand. The Tilt-A-Whirl platform is made of 12 sections of cardboard hinged together with tape so that they can rise and drop over the humps. The action is so much like the real thing that restraining devices had to be used to keep the people from flying out of their seats. These safety devices are made from paperclip sections covered with white tape. And the hoods over the cars are once again pieces of wiffle ball. Hang on tight. Here comes the Orbit, patterned after the Orleans Orbit at Great America. This ride is spectacular. It will turn you completely upside down without a safety belt. It's all done by centrifugal force. But don't eat before you take this ride. That centrifugal force can play tricks on you. And there it is. Since it takes so much time to get all these things together and get the whole show operating, you're probably wondering, why do I do it? The answer is simply that I have always enjoyed working with anything that's mechanical. And why an entire amusement park? The answer to that is easy to explain also. There's so much going on. There's so much to see. And it does bring back memories. I think most people really do enjoy carnivals. And for those who don't particularly care to ride those mechanical monsters, I think that even they enjoy watching them. I hope that you too have enjoyed watching.